Hello and welcome back. We are going to have a look at that Class 47 a little later on, but I've got both of the single wheelers running at the moment. Perhaps I should have included that at the end of last week's video, but I thought we'd just have a quick run around with these while I've got them out on the layout, have them both running together. So I've got the Lord of the Isles taking quite an interesting route around the inside of the layout, and the Caledonian single running around the outside there. Let's see if we can catch up with the Lord of the Isles here. Looking very splendid with those four-wheel coaches, and we should get the Caledonian storming around the curve any second. Look at that, she's flying around, isn't she? With those really terrific coloured coaches. Great colours, both of these models, they really are. And we'll just follow the Lord of the Isles around just one more time, I think. And then we'll get them stopped and we'll get them safely into sidings in the station. And here we've got the Caledonian single number 123 coming again. Around the curve, across that diamond crossing. Not much of a stutter at this speed, it has to be said. And down the back of the station. Around the large curve there, third radius, and storming down there. Right, we better take some control over these now. So I think we'll bring the Lord of the Isles to a gentle stop there. And then let's see if we can catch up with the Caledonian coming around the curve. There she is, coming behind the station. Making a lovely sound. Definitely an express service, I think. So we're the 2nd of July here today, and as you can see, I still haven't got any work done with the sidings there, but we will have a look at this Class 47. It's the one I showed a little while ago that I'd got with a bunch of things from Elaine's trains. And I've got some stuff from Dave Angel at the same time. So I think it's just quite a nice variation on a model I already have. So I'm just going to close up some point work so we can begin to put these models away into relative siding. So we want that one. That didn't sound as convincing as it should. Let's have a look over there. That's a crossover there by the signal box. And we're getting a double throw in there. Yeah, maybe I knocked the switch again. You never know. So I'm just going to try that one more time. So I'm going to open it. It helps if we grab the right switch, of course. So I'm opening the curved point in the corner of the layout. There we go. Yeah. I think I must have thrown the wrong switch before. So when we want to close 10, 40 or 40, and we want to open 8R. Now I think they're both still isolated, and the Caledonian should run round onto platform 2 in the station. It's a nice plan. Let's see if it works. There we go. Lord of the Isles is staying put. Let's see if we can just slow that approach down a little. And there we go. See, I've got some boxes and the other Class 47s that I have just lying on the layout at the moment. We'll stop that there, and then we'll switch that to platform 3, because that's the next platform we'll use at the station there. And then we'll isolate her, open up platform 3. Now we want to switch 40 again, and 10 or O, whichever way you read it, and then we'll try and get the Caledonian, not the Caledonian, the Lord of the Isles over in the far side of the station. So through the crossover onto the station approach. There we go, and then I'm just going to, sorry I'm moving the camera so rapidly. I do that, and I can't remember which one we're after now, 2, number 2. And I think if we roll backwards, let's see if I've got this right. Change the direction, did everything but change the direction. There we go. So she's running on the half wave there. There's a little bit of a hum coming from the motor. Let's just seal that into the platform. Let's have a quick look at her. So I've stopped it just on the buffer again. Very, very close. They could have all sort of just concertinaed off, I think. So I have indeed changed the points. I should have changed number 2 rather than number 1. So I'll just put that right before I run the Class 47 right into the front of her. So it's 1, and we'll set number 2 straight. So I think we're all good at that stage. Yeah, that'll do for future use. So I'm going to get the Class 47 out from the refuelling area, pick up this rake of Mark 1s or sleepers. They've got the light coloured roofs, so they're from the late 60s, and then they're sort of electric blue-ish, I think. We'll have a quick look at those a bit later on, not too close. We're just going to concentrate on having a fiddle with the trains, really, and I'm going to put this CarTic car transporter on the end of it as well. So a nice, relatively heavy load for quite a sort of powerful looking locomotive. So she does just have the 2 traction tyres. So there she is sitting there. Let's have a quick glance at the boxes. So this is the earlier version that I have, and I think this comes from 75, I think. Let's have a quick look. I'm looking at my notes as well. I can't remember all of these. We've seen this one before. I'll leave a link in the video to it in the description box at the end. So this one has 4 traction tyres. I think I might have mistakenly said it had 6 traction tyres in a couple of videos ago when I showed the blue one. But lovely model, very heavy, and it has the full metal chassis on it, and the earlier style bogie frames. Let's just have a look at that. We've got the instruction or info sheet that came with this one. R.863 in this model. Comes from 1975. Fairly comprehensive set of instructions to pull this one apart. It's very well built, shall we say. Wiring is a bit of a nightmare on the inside of it. So we'll just keep that one safe there. And this is the box for the one we got on the layout. So no instructions with this particular model. And I think it comes from 77-ish. So there we go, R.075 BR Class 47 diesel loco. Now let's leave that there. So I'm just going to glance at my notes. So I think in blue like that it was 77 till 78. But the variation was that this has got a version of the chassis, which you've just seen on this model here, and the slightly later variant of it that I have or had already has got the later style ringfield motor, and those sort of bogie frames which you can see through there. Again, just the 2 traction tyres on this one. This is a much lighter model, but I think the bodywork on the top is the same. Maybe the clipping, the clips are different to hold the plastic chassis on this. So this is significantly lighter. And there we have instructions dated 1977 there. Same picture, silver seal, not silver steel style locomotive. So let's pop that on there. All getting in a bit of a mess with the railway here at the moment, but I think we've got space to run through there. Just have a quick glance at those wonderful, gorgeous coloured Caledonian coaches there. And then we've got the Caledonian single sitting safely in the station. So I think there was another variant of this green one. I think she got a different running number, and there was a change to 2-traction tyres. So the variant that I've got on this blue one, we'll have a look at the underneaths of them all together at some point during the video. Then you'll be able to see what I'm excited about, perhaps. So I quite like the variation. That's the only real reason for buying it. Of course, we don't need another variation of the model, really. But that's the daft thing with collecting. Anyway, let's give that a little power and see if we can get her out of the sidings to start with. So I think everything else is going to remain still. If all goes well, this should move forward now. Relatively quiet model. So we've got to switch a bit of point work now. And we'll open the crossover 2B and 1B. And 8R still open, but we need to get into the long sidings, so we'll do that. And then we've already got the direction change. We'll just switch controllers. So this one should now run the opposite direction. I can see the service sheet down there. I was going to have a look at that a moment ago. So let's see if we can collect those coaches. It sounds like quite a nice coupling there. So let's just roll that forward now. So we need to roll those far enough forward so I can come back through the points and get that car transporter. There we go. So I'm just going to do 1W. I don't know whether we can see it from all the way up here. And then we'll reverse the direction and see if we can get that car transporter. Quite nice with the light roofs. I think we had some of these Mark 1s with dark roofs. I think they're still sitting in the station. Very nice coupling. Sorry about the noise in the background. Seems to be a rather noisy motorcycle passing the building. So let's give that a little power and we'll draw that onto the main line. That makes quite an impressive view. It's fairly effortless. Now, I did forget to close some points there, so let's back that up again. So it's all the talking and not concentrating on the train driving. There we go. I think that'll do the trick. Yeah, I think we're safely out of there now. So we'll just switch up some points. And I think we're safely all on the main line at the moment. So we've got 3 of these sleepers. I got these a little while ago and haven't run them. I just cleaned up the wheels earlier in the day, if you see the insert picture there. They haven't done that much running, but they were a little bit sort of grubby, and the axles were a tiny bit rusty, so I've cleaned those up. So we've got two of the sleepers there. So they're R.339. I think these are available with these light roofs. Sorry, you've got one of the sleepers there. I'm lying to you. So that's one of the sleepers there, R.339. And then I've got a pair of sleepers there. So these, I think I got these last year, but I haven't run them yet. So they're quite nice condition. So I think 1968 in that livery. I think they went to rail blue with darker roofs after that. I've got the buffet car in there, so lovely red stripe running across the top of the windows there. So that's our 729. I think that was 67, 68 in the electric blue. And I've got a couple of brakes, one either end, and they're R728. I think they're 65 to 68 before they went into the dark roofs. So I've got one there. And let's pan round to the other direction. I've got one right at the other end there. And then we've got the lovely CarTic transporter with a fine selection of colours there, mainly sort of greens and yellows. R.666, and that's available 69 to 73-ish, I think. I think that's what I've written down. But I've got this in an earlier video. I've got 3 of them, I think, in an earlier video, so I'll leave a link to that as well as one to the Class 47 running in the earlier videos. But let's give that a bit of a run round now and see how we do. So we'll give that a bit of power. A little bit hesitant, perhaps me not turning the controller quite as confidently as I should have. Makes a lovely noise with all that weight behind her. Lovely train. I don't know whether a train like this would ever have run, but it's fun for toy trains. Let's see if we can get a little higher. Have a look at that car transporter as she comes around. I could have more cars on here, but I thought I'd just go with 6 on each unit. It gets a bit cramped otherwise. And there she goes, absolutely lovely. The motor just purring away. Now she does have illuminated head codes, directional, but I think in this light we might not be able to see those. So I'll just pop an insert in there, you'll be able to see that on the rolling road. So let's bring her to a stop, I think. Let's see if I can stop it just before the point work. I always seem to overrun. Almost. Actually I have. It's on the point blade, so let's back up. There we have it. Right, we've got to see if this runs up and over, just because we can. And then 3, 2B, and then we'll open the tail end of the inclined section. I don't know whether we can see the signal go. And then we'll open the beginning. It depends which way around you're running. So So I think we should be able to run up and over now. Let's give this a go. Yeah, got it in the wrong direction. Got to get something wrong. I think it would have been quite a lovely item to get back in the 70s, this great locomotive. I think it was used in the Silver Jubilee set when it first came about. So the other Silver Jubilee set was had the Albert Hall in it, didn't it? So we got a little wheel slip there, not too bad. And there she goes. So let's run that round again. So she'll probably tear away coming down the incline. We'll back off the power a little, I think. Yeah, you can hear the weight of the coaches on the back of her now. Let's give that one more go. The car transporter behaving itself. I thought it sounded a bit suspect there, but it seems to be okay. It's quite a light model, the car transporter, so it could sort of start to bounce on the point work. So here we come through the point work. I'm just going to back off the power a little bit. Tiny bit more power to help it climb. So it's just the 2 traction tyres on there. So we do have a little wheel slip, so that is perhaps unkind through all those curves there. And here she goes again, down the hill. Lovely yellow ends on this model. So I suppose we really should sort of double head them, shouldn't we? Let's see if we can make that happen. So let's bring it round. I know what we'll try. We'll try the green one, which has the 4 traction tyres, before we double head the blue ones. There we go. I wonder whether I can do this one-handed. So if I can't, we'll cut back to it. But let's back that up a little. So let's grab the other model. So I think I'll put the engine, the motor bogie, towards the rear rather than the front. Let's see how we do. Let's get rid of my notepad. Can never tell when these wheels are on. They sound like they're on when they're not. These lovely metal wheels. There we have it. And I said I was going to put the green one on, didn't I? But we didn't. We just put the 2 blue ones on. So we'll stick with it. Let's see how we do with that. Wrong direction. I'll stand back a bit. So I suppose we do have 4 traction tyres now. I can hear one of them slipping a little, I think. And we'll just back off the power a little now. quite controlled. They both seem fairly... Ooh, we've definitely had a bit of an accident there, so I'm not quite sure what's occurred. So the car transporter looks okay at the back there. I think something's come off. I think the rear one here has just derailed. So I think I am going to have to cut there and come back to it. And it was the front bogie on the rear locomotive had jumped the rails there. I'm not quite sure where that occurred. It may have happened as that had come to the points with one locomotive pushing against the other, as they might not be quite as evenly matched as I had imagined. So let's give that a little bit of power. They are two completely different styles of motor within them. So let's give that a little power. So if you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see the different styles of motor. The lead one has got the lead one has got the later style ringfield motor, and the rear one has the very early style ringfield motor that was originally in the Evening Star. So I think we're done quite well getting it to run so far like this. So let's bring it around and we'll put the green one on and give that a go. So it is all just playing trains and having fun. There we go. So I suppose for endless combinations I could run the lead green one by itself, but I think we're going to get the general idea. So let's whip this one off. And we'll just have a quick look at those together. I suppose I should really run the later one by itself and see how powerful it is. Let's just have a look. Let's see if I can lean these against the controller here, and we can have a look. Yeah, we've got all the motors together. Let's see if I can tighten up the camera. Sorry, I'm wandering here. So let's tighten this up a little. There we go. So the first model we were running today was this one, which is the slightly earlier blue one. And you can see we've got the two traction tyres, one there and there. And then it's got pickups on both sides of the leading and the trailing edge of the rear bogie there. So this is the slightly later blue one. It's got the later style ringfield motor in it. We've got just two traction tyres as well. These are floating, these centre wheels here. But these centre flangeless ones on this slightly early one do drive, but I don't know whether they actually really make contact with the rail or not. So we are just collecting. We've got pickup on this side here, and then we've got pickups either side there and there. I don't know whether you can see the contact. Let's have a look in there. So you've got those lovely brass wipers there, or phosphor bronze, I suppose it may be. And again, we've got the probably pick up on one side here, maybe. I'm guessing because I can't remember. Or is it one side on this pickup on one side here, and pick up on the other side here on the slightly later one, I think. So it's sort of diagonally across the model. I think that's how that one works. And again, we've got this early green one. We've got the same set of pickups as the early blue one there. So we've got picking up on both sides here. You see I've put a spacer in there because this one used to jump off on the Super 4 track. I'd forgotten I'd got that in there. And we've got pickup on here. I don't know whether you can see just under there. Perhaps not. If I turn this one around, maybe we can see in the front there. But we do have pickup on either side on that front set of wheels. So I think the continuity on the green one is far better. So you're getting pickup on the back end on both sides and the front end on both sides. So That's quite a thing, and you see this is metal and metal, and we've got plastic here. So these with the metal chassis, they are significantly heavier than this model. It really is feather light. I can't speak at the moment. Let's put this one on. We really should give it a go. And I know the video is going to get long, but somebody will only ask me why I didn't do it if I don't. So here we go. Let's see if we can get her on. So just two traction tyres and the later style ringfield motor, and not quite as heavy. So she hasn't got the downward force on the track. So let's widen the camera again. And we'll give that a bit of power. More motorcycles going by. I should have moved the box really, shouldn't I? And this piece of towel. Asking for trouble really. Let's back that up. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that on the track successfully here, or sitting between the points. We seem to have managed it. Doesn't sound like anything else has derailed. And she seems to be climbing relatively well. You can see the light glowing away on the front. We do get severe wheel slip there though. And the other one slipped a little bit there as well, but that light was quite bright, wasn't it, on the head code. She's charging away now. We'll just back off there. It really is a bright head code on that one. We'll bring that one round. So they're all fairly smooth. This one is a little quieter than the other blue one. R.075. Paperwork says this one's 1977. Yeah, I have trouble stopping that there. It always overruns. Let's back up. There we go, more motorcycles. So it's a very sunny evening here in July, and reasonably close to the coast. So I think all those have got, by the sound of it, quite a lovely motorcycle, very deep sound. Take them out and drive along the coast. I suppose it's quite good fun. Never much like the idea of driving a motorcycle myself. Always seems very exposed. So let's see if I can get this one on the track there. Coupling slightly bent there, so having to give that a little bit of additional help by lifting it in. So let's give that a go. Again, this has turned into a rather an unusual video again. So, power. Backwards again. Hopefully no boxes to run into this time. Now I would be surprised if there's any wheel slip with this one. No, I don't think there's wheel slip there at all. And the trouble with this one on my old layout is she used to run on the incline section. Because of the pivot on the bogie and the change of height, it used to derail a fair bit coming downhill with the weight of the coaches behind it. But we seem to be alright so far here. Lovely sound on the model. great how the vents are all picked out in silver. So I think that's probably about it. I suppose we'd better have a quick look at those service sheets. I got them out and I meant to have a look at them earlier on. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. That's a bit of a charge round with those single wheelers earlier on. So there's a service sheet and you can see the wiring inside it. So this covers the two styles of model, the one with just the 2 traction tyres and the early ringfield style motor there. You can see the metal plate on the side of it there. And there's the variation on the wiring for the pickups at the front when we had the green one with the 4 traction tyres. You can see the additional wiring there. So there's quite a lot of cabling within the model. You can see all the way back there for the pickups at the other end. So they should run relatively smoothly. They run, apart from the derailing just coming down the elevated section on the layout. I think that was just coming into the curve as well. It dealt quite well with the Super 4 points, I think. So that's just a copy of the instruction sheet which came with the green one. We saw the instruction sheet a little earlier in the lovely picture on the box. Or did we see the lovely picture on the box? Let's have a look. It's on silver. Look at that. Isn't that quite nice? So very interesting use of typefaces here, completely different from the rest. I think there's some of that in the catalogue of that year, 75. I think the model showed up in the 74 catalogue. I'm not sure whether it was available till 75. But I'm not quite sure of the exact dates on its arrival in the shops. And here's the later one. So you can see we've got the later style ringfield motor there. So if you have a look at the insert there, you can see I've just released that. You can see it in the bodywork, just dropped from the bodywork. I'm not going to dismantle all of these. And I've got various other videos with these dismantled, and you can have a look. You can see the lamps here. At either end that's directional as a diode, so you can have them in the direction of travel. Quite an interesting feature. They are quite bright in that later one, weren't they, compared to the other two? While I was just planning to look at the other model there and talking about how bright those bulbs were, I realised that the recording had ended on my phone. I hadn't noticed. Strangely, run out of recording space, media space. Doesn't often happen. Poor file management and happening there, I think. So I solved that problem, and while I was doing that, I thought, well, this is sort of the end of the video here, but I thought we might as well just pop on all 3 of them. So I've put all 3 on the rails. You can see them in there in the distance. We'll just collect these boxes up so we get them out of the way, and we'll just have one run around with that, just for the curious. So let's get the sheets off here. Hopefully there will be time to do something with that in the coming weeks, we hope. So let's give this a bit of power and see how bright that lead locomotive is. That's the newest one from 77 with the slightly later style ringfield motor. So here we go. Let's see what we get. Yeah, it does light up quite nicely, that lead one. If I can get ahead of it, we'll have another look. Lovely and bright, that. I think they're fighting each other a little. But I think that's it. Thanks again for watching. It really is hugely appreciated. And if you look back again next time, we'll have something else from the range to look at. Goodbye now.